Okay. Welcome. Welcome again to South Jersey Life. I'm your host, William West. And I got a couple people with me today. I got the wonderful and talented Heather. I got the also wonderful and talented Heidi. And
Hello. Go Falcons.
yeah, it's Broncos for life, but let's not get into that right now. It's not a sports day. Okay, guys. Glad to see you guys here. I appreciate you guys coming back. I was saying the last episode, it's like the second season, so we haven't done this in a while. So, I appreciate you guys being here, and just want to give a shout out to my sister. Hope you start feeling better, and all the prayers are with you. Um, let's talk about DJ Envy and Tyrese beef. So, you guys know about this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me talk to you guys if you don't know. Um, Tyrese was on a Breakfast Club last week, and you know, Charlemagne and Envy likes to take a lot of shots at Tyrese, but they always preface it by saying, "You know what, Tyrese, that's our guy. That's our man." But it's a lot of things wrong with Tyrese, and you can see that Envy will always uh, kind of get quiet. He wouldn't talk too much. Charlemagne would make jokes, but Tyrese would go a little bit, you know, uh, into it about some of the issues he may have with Tyrese, and Envy would pretty much stay a little quiet. So when I saw Tyrese on the Breakfast Club, I'm like, okay, maybe they're gonna hash this stuff out, and pretty much that's what they did because he was saying that he said a lot of wild things, done a lot of you know ignorant things to people, and he would like to apologize. And it seems like
Who
Charlemagne,
who was saying that? Tyrese was.
Tyrese,
Okay.
like Tyrese was
Said he
basically
was an
on,
apology
on
tour.
an apology tour, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it seemed like Charlemagne was okay with accepting the apology. Tyrese was saying he was on psych meds. That's pretty much the only reason he would have acted like he was acting under those situations, and he was just pretty much asking for forgiveness. But when it went to Envy talking about the situation, Envy did not look as apology as accepting the apology as Charlemagne. Envy was pretty much like, yeah, you was on psych medication. Yeah, okay, whatever, you know. And he still didn't. You still like you could feel the tension that that Envy had. And then what winds up happening is Envy starts breaking down exactly why he was still pissed off at Tyrese, and pretty much he was saying that he was saying disrespectful things to his wife. He didn't get into specifics what the disrespectful things were, but it got to be pretty bad when he starts talking about if I wanted to box you in your mouth, something to that effect. Guys
Well,
shouldn't be saying that to other guys. It just don't sound right. But it is what it is. It's what Envy said. Um, so I just
so
want to just. But go
so
ahead.
Charlemagne made sure that it was corrected, and he did not say box you in the mouth. He said box your mouth. So apparently, there's a difference between box
Uh,
you in the mouth and
listen,
box your mouth. So
listen. I
just
don't.
make
I don't
sure
know if
you
it.
quote
I
it
don't know.
correctly.
I don't know if box has the word box has traveled down to GA. Box is a female anatomy part. Okay, up these parts. Okay, so it just don't sound right. And let me just say pause for all my people from Harlem. Pause. Okay, it just don't sound right. But the point was that Envy, you could just tell he was still pretty pissed off at Tyrese. So me watching it, I'm pretty much saying, you know what, I feel bad for Tyrese. He's on psych medication. He's apologizing. Everybody, even Just Hilarious, is very sympathetic. Everybody's being sympathetic toward, and Envy is just like very standoffish. Um, so with what Tyrese was saying with the mental part of it, and let me just get the biggest thing was Tyrese having issues with Envy, because if it wasn't for Tyrese, which Envy has said on previous shows, so on previous shows, if it wasn't for Tyrese, I would not be married to my wife right now. He's the one that got me and my wife together because it could have been heading for divorce because Envy cheated. And Tyrese was basically saying that he was the one that said, you know what? I don't want to see these two people breaking up. I want to keep them together. I really don't know Envy. I really don't know his wife. But as a friend to a man that I think is a good man, I want to help save this marriage. But when you're hearing this, what is your reaction to how Envy was receiving this message from Tyrese saying, please forgive me. I was under distress, but I apologize. You know, can we move on from this and be brothers like we once were? So, what do you think Envy's response was to everything? I'll start with you, Heather.
So I kind of see in the beginning of the situation, I kind of see both sides. So I am, Indy's real name is Rashawn Casey, and he and his wife
Never
Gia
knew.
had a podcast called The Casey Crew.
See,
So I'm a
you.
Gia.
Thank you. I need this in-depth information because I been
Okay.
Envy since I was a teenager. Okay,
so,
that's all I knew. But
So I'm a big Gia and Envy fan. Like I watched
mhm,
all 100 and whatever episodes of their podcast that they've had. I've heard all kinds of stories, all that. So I do have a history based on what they've shared, of course, with the public, right?
okay.
So I have two thoughts behind this. On one side, I can appreciate that Tyrese is trying to make amends, right? So
Hmm.
I think that like if you insult somebody, if you have been on psych meds and kind of out of your mind and you've done and said some things that were not of your normal behavior, I
Hmm.
think it's great that you're attempting to apologize. So I think in that way, Tyrese was trying to do a good thing.
Right.
I think that I understand Envy's side where it doesn't it doesn't seem that easy to accept the apology because not only, and I think he kind of said this, he didn't say it exactly like this, but you definitely have helped my situation. You've helped my life tremendously, but
Hmm.
you've also now kind of hurt and disrespected it.
Hmm.
So I can understand where it's not as easy as we get on this radio show, we hash it out, and then the apology is accepted and it's over. There was
Hmm.
still a little bit more that happened, obviously, that Envy, it was going to take a little bit more for Envy to move on.
Right. And I get that. Heidi, what you think?
I just think that there are always two sides to every story. And I feel like they both agreed, like y'all just said, that Tyrese played a major part in um, DJ Envy and his wife getting back together. But at the same time, what was the behind the scenes? Because if it was that simple, there wouldn't be any um, animosity still or any, you couldn't tell that it was some pushback to the apology. It was like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, you
Right.
know. So yeah, it was obvious that something else was going on. A lot of times I feel like, when people apologize, when it's genuine, you receive a genuine response. And even though Tyrese came across genuine to us as viewers, again, we still weren't privy to what else was going on. So, DJ Envy seems like if it wasn't anything else to it, he would have easily been like, "Oh man, thanks for, that apology. Let's move forward." And he would have been cool to move forward as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is how I was, seeing it in real time. How I was taking Envy was I love Envy as a DJ, right? And I respect everything that Envy does. But Envy is petty as hell. Like Envy is one of the most pettiest individuals, and he will proclaim himself to be a petty individual. And this is what I was thinking. Like if Rick Ross was to come up to him and say, "You know what? Let's man up and be friends." Envy be like, "I don't think it's that easy." He got him and 50 Cent got that, you know, that gene. I don't know if it's a Queens thing, but I was just thinking that listening to it in real time, not knowing all the information, Heather, I don't didn't listen to their podcast, but I just thought that Envy was being real petty. I'm like, just
Mhm.
kiss and make up. This is a hallmark moment. Just just make up. Even though if you don't mean it, make it look good for the camera since everybody's there. And if you really got some issues, then just let it be known. Get it off your chest right now since Tyrese is sitting in front of you and get it, and let it be done. But that was my reaction. I'm just like, okay, well, Envy's being petty like he, normally is. He holds his grudge. He doesn't let it go. So that's what I was, basically chalking it up to. Um,
So I have heard Envy say he's petty before.
mhm.
Um,
You
but I
watch
guess I
you watch
feel
the
like,
Breakfast Club, you know that.
huh?
I said if you watch the Breakfast Club, you definitely know he is very petty, very petty.
Oh, well, yeah, but I feel like he's petty when he's been offended.
Hmm.
So I feel like he's not just petty to be petty, or he's not just like he has a petty personality. I feel like because he seems to be like a really nice all around kind of guy. And of course, we don't know
Hmm.
him further than, Breakfast Club or interviews and things like that. I
Right.
think when someone offends him, especially if he and Tyrese were as close as they were,
Hmm.
they were so close. Gil had gotten close to him. He obviously considered him like a brother, it seemed like. And
Hmm.
so then for Tyrese to offend him to that extent, I feel like that deserves a little bit more of an emotion than just like, all right, we'll kiss and make up. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I get it. Now,
But
for
I also feel like if Envy is requesting grace from his wife, why wouldn't he offer the same?
right.
You know what I mean? If if there was a mistake made and he's apologizing, why wouldn't he say, everybody makes mistakes, let's move forward.
And the main theme of Tyrese was basically, I'm the one that saved your marriage. Okay. And as I said, to that point, I'm siding with Tyrese. I think Envy's being petty. And if Charlemagne can move on, like I said, Jess Hilarious was in the studio. She doesn't really have a part to play into it, but everybody was like, you know what, let's and at the end, it did seem like Envy, you know what? After Tyree started talking more and more, that Envy was saying, you know what? Let me bury the hatchet, right? Because at the very end of the show, that episode, it was like, you know what? We're going to stop this. We're going to get along. I do understand that you were on medication.
Hmm.
Maybe I am being too hard, and to me, at the very end, Envy was being more sympathetic towards what Tyrese was saying. And then they started joking around, being buddy buddy again. Like, and I'm thinking, okay, the three musketeers are back again. How they were acting. Now, let's fast forward to the
Before you
weekend.
fast forward, can I add something?
Go ahead.
So, just to kind of reiterate, I agree with what you just said. It did seem like
Mhm.
towards the end, Envy maybe was willing to kind of say, the psych meds made you do a lot of things that,
Mhm.
you were out of your mind. However, he didn't make a Tyrese didn't make a mistake like, uh, I made a mistake and hit your car and it was a mistake. He didn't make a
Mhm.
mistake like, you know, I messed up by saying something and so you didn't get a business deal. He
Mhm.
supposedly came on to his wife.
But
So
see,
that's a
at
little
that,
bit deeper to me than like,
but
oh,
see,
everybody makes mistakes, or
mhm.
oh, I'm just being petty because, I'm sensitive. Like, but he also did other things that he says he would not have done while on that medication too. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and my thing, I don't know at the time that I was listening to it that I was thinking that how he just said he said some like disrespectful thing towards his wife. Like I don't know if Envy was prefacing saying you was coming on to my wife, but it was like it was some stuff that you said about my wife that we'll just keep private. I could be wrong. He could have been more specific, but I just didn't know the gist of it. So fast forward over the weekend, Tyrese is on Instagram going off saying I was never disrespectful to your wife. I don't know what you're talking about. Where's the proof? I have receipts on DJ Envy. And Tyrese just went on a rant. Now, I didn't hear all the ranting, but Breakfast Club uh, did follow up and played a few clips of basically Tyrese saying, I don't even know what Envy's talking about. I was never disrespectful to his wife. I don't know what he's talking about. And I know there was a big issue with why did you block me or you didn't block me. And this is what Tyrese was saying. You didn't block me. You were still communicating with me, even though you were saying you blocked me and wasn't communicating with me. So here we go. That was happening to the week towards the weekend. And then Charlemagne, Charlemagne was saying, why is Tyrese acting a fool? Right? And he's saying this towards Envy. And then Envy responds is, well, let me respond to what Tyrese is saying and tell you exactly what did happen. And the reason why I have no respect for Tyrese and the reason why we can't be like we were again. And then he brings on his wife. And his wife goes on saying that Tyrese, did help us in the marriage. Tyrese was a good friend, but then Tyrese starts making uh, inappropriate suggestions on where our relationship between her and Tyrese should be going. And she felt it was inappropriate, and Envy felt it was inappropriate. And now I go back to a few days later, I understand why Envy is pissed off. I understand. And the fact that Tyrese is going on live, Instagram live, to say he never did anything or said anything, now I'm kind of seeing why Envy was so like I understand what you said about being on medication but I understand the fuller extent after they came back on a Breakfast Club again to kind of Gia saying exactly what was going on instead of just like, okay, what was disrespectful? What was going on? You
Mm-hmm.
guys, what y'all think?
So I really I think that, and because we don't really know exactly what was said, it's hard to, I guess, make a call on it. I
Well,
feel
well,
that
let's say
because
let's say from
Tyrese also said, I
Mhm.
mean, not Tyrese, um, Gia,
Envy,
Gia,
Gia,
Gia, Gia,
Gia. I'm
Gia.
sorry. I'm sorry, Gia. I'm sorry for messing your name up.
Gia also said a few things about Tyrese's personality. She's like, he required a lot of attention. And when he didn't give the attention, um, he got kind of mad, like, why aren't you available to me for me? And they mentioned even getting on, that Tyrese requested or tried to get them to uh, talk bad about his ex-wife. You know,
Um,
to me, all of those are character traits, and so it's making the story look more in favor of what Envy is saying. Um, Even when he said, it was something else I was going to mention about Envy. Envy said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But anyway,
it's okay. It's all
it
right.
was a few things, you know, those few things to me just painted a picture of Tyrese's character. Oh, I know what it was, where Envy said someone reached out to him
Oh,
Oh
and
yeah, the ex somebody that worked with Tyrese or was close to
yeah, and was
Tyrese.
like, you know, get it, be careful because he's gonna try to get your wife or you and your wife. You
Hmm.
know, he's done that to me. All those things kind of align with what Envy was saying without saying it.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel I feel like and this is not Tyrese's first time in the media with some kind of craziness, you
Yeah,
know.
Tyrese is, as, as I said, the fact that he went off on Twitter just on and on and on and on. Are you still on psych medication? Because if
right.
not, we have a pattern of just basically just illogical behavior on his part. But
Hmm.
Yeah, because
yeah,
he's
so
done so many videos. Like even after the Breakfast Club, the first interview, then Tyrese said something. Then the Breakfast Club did a second kind of follow up.
mhm,
Since then, Tyrese has posted so much about this situation, and it's
mhm.
like, okay, Tyrese.
Yeah, and are you chasing the fame? Like you're famous. It's like, what is the attention about? That's what I don't
Hmm.
understand with Tyrese. You're a movie star. You're a singer. You're this. You're that.
Right.
Why stoop to all this stuff? It said unless you're still on psych medication, or maybe you need to see a therapist. Because I was going to say, you know what? I just think Tyrese was a great friend, but I kind of what this situation is basically, Gia, why are you still having so much contact with Tyrese after this situation? That's the part that I don't understand.
Now, you didn't mention this, and I did
Mhm.
not watch the whole thing, but I'll just throw a little insert here to
Okay.
say that I was watching, oh gosh, academics.
DJ Academic.
Uh-huh. I was
Hmm.
watching a little bit of him talking about the situation.
Hmm.
So what he did was on one of the rants that Tyrese was having,
Hmm.
Tyrese had his phone out and was showing like, look at these texts. So
Right.
when you looked at the text, you know how like if only one person is talking,
Hmm.
it's like, hey, hello, why won't you say nothing? Do you hear me? It was like a bunch of texts from Tyrese. Gia said one thing over here, and then it was more text, a picture from Tyrese. And so academics was like, yeah, she might have responded to you or been in touch, but it
Yeah.
looks like you were he didn't say low key harassing, but that's how I took it. Like you looks like you're low key harassing her
Right.
to say something to you. And
Right.
so it was like one line and academics was like, yeah, Tyrese didn't think about the fact that we can uh, pause the screen or take screenshots of the screen and see he's trying to flash his phone quick to say, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Me.
look, we're texting, but it was like one word, one response from Gia.
Well, I right now with that being said, I do believe that he was on psych medication and is still on psych medication, but needs a higher dosage. Because that is crazy. Like I said, you could pause. You can like I'm gonna go real fast and no one can really see what's what. Okay. All right, listen, I side with DJ Envy on this one. If this was a who's the better friend or who's the better guy in this coming out of this situation, I will side with DJ Envy because Tyrese just sounds, crazy after this. You
Yeah.
know. But any more uh comments on this situation, Tyrese and Envy? How
Um,
you
I just I hate that things like that have to happen, and then it turns into more, and then other people start to be affected.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it Tyrese should have left the studio and left all the issues right
Hmm.
there. Like it
Yep.
shouldn't have
It was cool
gone
by y'all.
any further.
Hmm.
Because they everybody would have been fine with him, would have accepted the psych meds, would have accepted, okay, you were in a bad place, but you're better now. And now he's just making it worse for himself.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it was Kumbaya at the end, but like I said, he went on and ruined it. But
Yeah.
just me listening to Envy and Tyrese, it made me just think, are you a good friend? And I started thinking, what really is a good friend? So I'm gonna pose this question to both you, Heather and Heidi. Are you consider do you consider yourself to be a good friend? Heather, you go first.
She went
So,
first last time.
Okay, hold on,
well,
hold on,
that's
hold
what
on.
I said. Heidi, you go
There's
first
no
last time.
clause coming out. Stop that. Stop that.
Go
Put the
ahead.
clause away.
No, no, no,
No,
Heidi.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Good friend. We know. Go ahead. Go ahead, Heather.
Okay. So it's a complicated answer at the present moment. Overall, I would say I
Hmm.
think I'm a very, very good friend.
Hmm.
The reason it's a little complicated at the moment is because I'm having trouble with my work life balance.
Right.
So I'm not as invested, maybe,
Hmm.
as I once was. Now, any of my friends can still call me, and I'm going to drop everything if they're in trouble. Drop
Hmm.
everything, do what I need to do to be there for them, to listen, to support them the way that I can. But I would say that I think just because work is so hectic for me, I'm not necessarily reaching out, or I'm not necessarily putting forth as much effort as I have in the past. So
Right.
I think I definitely know how to be a good friend. For most of my life, I've been a very good friend. Right now, it's a little bit suspect, probably.
Right. And I get that. Heidi, you. Are you a good friend?
Well, I think I'm an okay friend. Um, I
Mhm.
just think, like, I guess partly to Heather's point, it's always just so much stuff in life. It depends on what. So I think it's the question of who you ask,
Mhm.
which friend requires what,
Mhm.
and what you have to give during that season of friendship.
Right.
So, you know, I have several friends. They have their own, everybody has their own lives.
Mhm.
Um, Depending on how much you require of me, if you're a friend that has to be handheld and called and talked to all the time, I'm gonna say I haven't been a good friend to you because I
Mhm.
just can't do that. But if you're a friend that's okay with being like, after a week or so, how you doing, checking in, or whatever, then I would say I'm a pretty good friend to you. Like, what's up? We text, we call, we chat here and there, but it's not a continuous thing. I'm a
Mhm.
good friend. As far as like what I'll do for people, I don't mind um, helping or doing something additional for someone that I guess needs me.
Mhm.
So in that sense, I'm a good friend. Um, yeah, so I think it's more factors than just. It's not as simple as are you a good friend? Because I'm a good friend to some, but not to. Well, I'm gonna say I'm an okay friend
Mhm.
to some, but I can't. I wouldn't say I'm a good friend to everybody because it's just differences and different factors.
Okay, and you know what? I respect that answer because I would think that 99.9% of everybody would say, you know what, I'm a great friend. That's what I am. So you said I'm an okay friend, so I respect that answer. I think for myself, I'm a great friend, so I'm in that 99.9%. Seriously, I think I'm a great friend, but like you, how you broke it down, it depends on what you need me as a friend to do. Um, I am not 20 something years old anymore, even though I may look it. But
You have good genes.
yeah, yeah, yep, that Wesley joint. But listen, it's more of um, like I said, I'm not in my 20s no more. I'm not hanging out like I used to. Like I'm not the guy that you call to let's go hang out at the club. That's not me. I am not the guy that says, you know what, let's go drinking at the bar and whatnot. No, that's not me. I'm more of the friend that if you need to talk about some of the issues that you're going through in life, I'm that ear that will listen to anybody that's going through like rough situations. So that's why I consider myself a very good friend because I'm that guy. If I have knowledge, I will share it. You know, that's how what I would say about my friendship. If I can help you out with anything that I know and give you the information, I will give it to you because you have a lot of friends out here that are pretty much haters. You think they're your friend, they just they're around you for a purpose, and most likely a self-serving purpose. Me, I don't hang around anybody except for my wife and my children. That's it. Other than that, in the family, but other than that, I don't need to hang around anybody. But as far as as far as how I think that friendship should be, if I need you, I don't need you to do everything that, the wants of a friend should do. I just need you to just listen. Give me a little bit of time just to listen. And if you can help me out with more than that, I would appreciate that. But other than that, if you can just listen to me, that's what I would expect a friend to do. Don't disrespect me. Don't steal from me. Don't, you know, do what Tyrese is doing to Envy or whatever behind his back. If you can, just be level with me. That's why I expect of a friend, and that's why I try to be as a friend.
So,
Um,
can I ask a
yeah,
question about that? So,
yeah,
you said as long as you want somebody to listen, right?
yeah.
So, what if someone is continuously sharing the same thing with you over and over and
Listen,
over? And
listen, and I say this to say I know people that don't like listening to other people because they say the same thing day after day after day. So sometimes their phone calls don't get answered. Sometimes they're talking and phones get put on mute. I'm not saying who, but I'm just saying this stuff I see happening because they get tired of listening to the same damn complaints over and over again. Like, change your situation. Stop telling me about it. But to me, why I think I'm a very good friend, I listen. And every day that you call me on the same stuff that you have not uh, tried to rectify in your life, I will listen and I will give you advice again and again and again until one day you have an epiphany. I must listen to what Will said,
Ah,
right? And I don't know how long that
point.
may
I can
take,
relate to that.
but every day you call me, I'm gonna just keep hitting you over the head until voila. I think I'm gonna listen to what Will said today and watch your life change. That's why I think I'm a good friend. You know.
I can really relate to that
Mhm.
horn because like it really kind of did something when you said like I just want my friends to listen, like that's all that I require.
Mhm.
I think as a friend I don't feel like I require a lot from my friends,
Right.
so like when you said that, that kind of just hit a nerve with me because I think you just want people to listen to you, and you also want people to like check on you and just let you know that
I don't.
they care.
Yeah, I don't even need that. I don't. Yeah.
Well, I need that. I'm
Okay.
adding that.
Okay. Okay.
I need that. I
Mhm.
want them to listen to me, and then I want them to show that they care. And it doesn't have to be that you went somewhere with me or that you
Mhm.
like did this grand gesture. You can really just call and be like, I'm just thinking about you. And so from that end, I really kind of connect with that. Like, I don't require a lot
Mhm.
from my
Yeah,
friendships.
because
Um,
as far as me, I don't. You don't even got to check in on me. If you know me, you know I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? So if you are my friend, you probably know that I'm okay. So I'm not really worried about that. Because it's like a lot of people I haven't spoken to in years and years and years. But I just don't, But if I see them, it's still like I've been talking to them every day since the last time I seen them because I still have that friendship with them, that kinship with them. But
mhm.
I don't need somebody checking up on me or whatever. I'm okay. But yeah, but as a friend, if you can just listen, then, that's my main thing. I don't need you really even checking up on me. And really, I don't really, God's been good. Life is good. I don't really have too many complaints about stuff. But if you can, open your ears up, listen for a couple of minutes, I appreciate that. And I would consider you being a good friend towards me.
Do you not kind of, the more that you talk, do those two not kind of go hand in hand to some extent?
Hmm.
Because if they're listening to you, if you just want them to listen, to some extent, isn't that them checking on you?
It depends. No, because I said I don't need people checking. It's just people that so you have friends that you work with, right? No matter what, you want to
Hmm.
see them every day. You know what I'm saying? So maybe one day out of the year, I may say, you know what? Let me tell you what's going on with my situation. What you think? And if they're a friend, they'll listen because I don't really complain about too much. But sometimes I may have to get some stuff off my chest. You know, but I consider you a friend. Now there's some friends that you've been childhood friends with. Like my boy Vic. Like, if I talk to him, he's always going to listen no matter what. He'll drop and just listen. That's why he's been my boy for over 20 something years, because he will just listen. And,
Shout out, Victor.
yeah, co-host. He'll be back soon. But the thing is, even him talking to me, I just listen. When he got issues, I sit there, I listen, try to give him as much information as possible, and I know he appreciates me as a friend. So yeah, and that's pretty much how it goes. But I would say this as another question. Heidi, you're saying you're okay, but how do you think, or what do you think you could do to be a better friend than what you are right now to anybody that's listening to you right now? That must
That's
mean
good.
because you could be because okay, maybe just okay. That's what they get.
Yeah, I mean, I give what I can. So I don't
I
know,
understand. I understand.
I mean,
I got you.
yeah, I don't know, honestly. I could call more, maybe check in
Hmm.
more, maybe something like that. But
But you do what you can.
yeah,
Okay. I got you. So Heather, what do you think you can do to be a better friend than what you are right now?
I think it's kind of what I led with. Like, a lot of times, if I get together with my friends, like, I'm not the organizer of that. And I kind of struggle with that a little bit just because part of it feels like I don't know if I've ever had the personality to be like, to get the group together or to suggest a brunch or to suggest that we go somewhere. I'm
Hmm.
typically, I'm down if I'm invited, but
Hmm.
I could kind of, I've noticed that sometimes it can feel one sided if I'm not reaching out to initiate something. So I think that would be the one thing. I think otherwise, if you call or if you need to talk or if you need me, then I'm there. So I would say I could just initiate situations a little bit more.
Okay, and I see myself as I need to, and what I've tried to do in the past couple of years, just try to reach out more, wishing people happy Father's Day,
Mhm.
wishing everybody happy birthday, Merry
Mhm.
Christmas, just to say that, okay, I see you out there. I know it hasn't, it's been a while, but I'm still thinking about, all of my friends and peoples and, just checking up on you just to make sure that you're okay. So, like I say, you ain't got to check up on me, but I do need to do a better job of, continually to check up on other people because, you may talk to someone that you haven't spoken to in a while and they're going through rough things. And like I said, they need someone to listen to. And so
Mhm.
I need to reach out to as many people as I possibly can. So to me, that's, how I can be a better friend. Um, okay, so everybody hugging, shaking hands, friendship. Third topic that we're going to talk tonight, Heidi, this is not good friendship, depending on what your take is. What is the third topic for tonight?
So the third topic is based off of one of the Atlanta Housewife episodes
Hmm.
where Sheree, who is an Atlanta housewife,
Hmm.
had a birthday dinner with some of her girlfriends and her boyfriend, who is from a different reality show, was there. Um, and her girlfriends felt that he should have paid. The bill was $1,500, um, total for dinner for the girls, and I think it may have been a couple of guys there.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess that's the topic. What do you all think as far as should the boyfriend have paid? And also, from my understanding, they were not in a relationship that long. They're like a new boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, so they're not married or anything like that. They're just dating.
Hmm.
Um, but majority of the girls or ladies from the show felt like he should have paid the $1,500 for her birthday dinner.
That other people attended, right?
Right.
So the birthday dinner that everybody came to,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason they just thought that this person has the money just to pay for everybody's dinner, correct?
Right. As her boyfriend,
As her boyfriend,
right.
he should, yeah.
He should have
Hmm.
paid the bill for the table.
That's a
Like,
hell of an assumption. A hell of an assumption. So you already know where I'm going at with this. So I'm gonna let Heather
yeah,
get this. Let
and
let Heather tackle let Heather tackle this.
Well, let
okay.
me make sure because I heard this story, I heard the scenario, but what I didn't know did he didn't throw the birthday dinner. He was just an attendee like everybody else.
Yes. So
Okay,
he didn't host it. As far as I understand it, he didn't host it. He just was there as her boyfriend. Like, we're gonna have this birthday dinner. Not I'm having a birthday dinner for you. But he did ask um, some of the ladies to cash app to try to get the money together for the
that's
dinner.
what I remember hearing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So initially, if I just said we're all going to a birthday dinner, let's say it's my birthday, which it
Mhm.
was last Thursday,
Happy
but
belated birthday.
thank you.
Hmm.
So let's say that I threw myself a birthday dinner and I invited everybody. And let's say Patrick's not my husband, but let's say he's my boyfriend at the time and he's there. I wouldn't necessarily have that expectation, but it kind of that the expectation that he would pick up the bill. It would be very nice that he did, but I don't think that it's a requirement. But when you throw in the part about the cash app, that's the part that's a little fuzzy to me because it's like if he was like, okay, I don't know. Now these are just kind of like minor details, but if he was like, oh, I got it, took the bill, paid for it, but then was like, hey, can y'all all cash at me? then it turns a little tacky to me. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that. But I also feel like, you know, as the boyfriend, you're trying to get in with me. Um, you should, if you don't pay for dinner, you should pay for drink or all the appetizers or
yeah, agreed. We can do
something
some
like,
part of that. Yeah,
yeah, some kind of big contribution. Okay, everybody, your meal is on you, but drinks are on me to celebrate or something.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah.
um,
I think that it's bad to ever go to a dinner or a function assuming that someone else will be paying the bill, um, unless they specifically say, "Don't worry about it. I'm going to pay the bill." The Cash App thing does sound a little tacky to me. I've never like, yo, you got to Cash App me this. No, I wouldn't do that. But um, I just find it, amazing that a bunch of females, mostly females, saying, "Okay, this is the guy. He got some dough. We're gonna order $1,500 worth of stuff, and don't worry about it because he's going to pay the bill." I mean, that to me is just like something that Housewives of Atlanta would do. To me, I mean, yeah, it's just,
dang.
I mean, because if this was normal, like, hold up, what you? This is how I would like when we're having a dinner. I'm basically at the beginning of the dinner saying, "Listen, separate bills. Everybody, separate bills." That's the hint. You're paying for your own meal. Now, what I would do is first drinks, they're on me as the guy, as the boyfriend. First drinks, you got it. Anything after that, that's on you guys.
Mhm.
And you guys got your meal.
Right.
Unless
And I think that's nice. I think that's a
Mhm,
nice gesture. At
yeah,
Yeah,
least contribute something, you know. Um, yeah, I, I think that would be good.
yeah, because I just don't
agree.
see. Like I said, I'm not going to a dinner with a bunch of people, grown folks, and thinking someone's going to pay for my food. I'm going to come with money to pay for my own stuff. Now, if the person is courteous enough to pay for it, the boyfriend's courteous enough to pay for it, I appreciate that.
But the
But
other thing is the
Mhm.
status of these people. So, like, if it was just regular old Joes, that's different. But
The people with the most money are the cheapest.
I understand that. But
Hmm.
still, when you reach a certain level and you're
All of
used
an
to
assumption.
certain things, I'm just telling you what I know.
Okay.
When you're used to
She got that
certain
status.
things,
My bad. I forgot who I was speaking to.
then you
You
do
know that
have certain
status.
expectations.
Hmm.
They mentioned Candy and Todd pay for dinner whenever they go somewhere or a lot of times they'll go out with them and
Hmm.
and they'll pay for the dinner or they'll pay for them at this place or that place. So I think it just depends on the company.
But
Also, too,
go
oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
was going
ahead.
to add to that, and I don't know, and Heidi, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that they went with the expectation like, oh, somebody else is paying for my meal. But
Yeah,
once everything played out, it's like it was a topic of discussion. So
yeah.
not like I went expecting this of this person, but after things played out the way that they did. But then the other thing I was going to say when Heidi said Candy and Todd, um,
All this is going over my head. I don't watch Housewives of Atlanta, but
Well,
you
Candy and
know,
I know
Todd.
Candy. I know Candy. I don't even remember what her husband's name was, but yeah, I know Candy. I remember the original group. My wife had me watching the first couple of seasons, but everything
okay.
else up to that over my head. Yeah,
But you know Candy from Escape, right?
I know Candy
That's what
from
he
yes,
said.
yeah.
The
I
original
know
group.
Escape. Yeah, I
Well,
know
when he said
Escape.
the first couple of seasons, I thought he meant he knew her from Housewives. But anyway,
No, no, no. I just know the cast for the first couple of seasons.
oh, okay.
Mimi and Sheree and
Oh,
Candy and Portia and all
oh,
of all these. Yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, but no, me and my wife, we don't do that no more. We used to watch together the first couple of seasons. I said, "No, I can't do this. Can't do it."
shout out to the
That
wife.
same thing happened to me.
He's
Patrick
bad.
watched it at the
Pat-
beginning, and now he will not watch it for anything.
Patrick is a smart man. Very smart.
Nothing. So while Horn is getting his technical issues straightened out, just a reminder for the legal
So
language.
close to the end. So
This
close to the end.
is only our opinions, and there is nothing factual about what we were talking about what we're talking about. So it is just our opinions.
Just
Right.
three cousins from New Jersey, Atlantic City to be exact, chatting it up.
All right, my bad. The
Thank you for
reception.
listening.
So yeah, so I'm gonna have to
Make
edit
sure
all of
you
this.
like, subscribe, and hit
Go
that
ahead, host.
notification bell.
Somebody working hard to be the co-host. I appreciate it in my time of need. Don't worry, I'm editing all of that stuff out. We bring it back right now. So listen, before we have any more issues, I want to say thank you guys for coming here and hanging out with me and doing another podcast. And I'm sure you guys are going to be, you know, doing more podcasts with me. Correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. And Levon and Patrick, I want them to join in too. So I just appreciate you guys with this, you know, episode 2 of season 2. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have fun.
We did. Today was good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, 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 cool,
Thanks for
cool.
having us.
No problem, no problem. So what Heidi was saying, like, subscribe. You can catch South Jersey Life Twitter. I'll be talking my stuff mostly about sports. But yeah, I'll be talking my stuff. So Twitter account South Jersey Life. Instagram, I gotta post some stuff. You know, if my wife lets me post certain things. And you know, gotta get permission. Gotta get permission. Um, Podcasts. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. We got an interview with Lil Zach coming soon. I got a my top 10 list of the best podcast YouTube channels. So all this stuff's coming soon. So just stay tuned and enjoy and keep subscribing, keep liking, and keep sharing the link. Okay. So I appreciate Heidi. I appreciate Heather. This is South Jersey Life, and we are out. Peace.